towards North Avenue. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, chance of rain or drizzle, patchy fog, a low of 43. Tomorrow, a chance for showers, a high of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Homer here for Window Nation's end-of-the-year sale. This November, you'll save big with 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills and come with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Don't miss out on 50% off and 0 interest for 5 years. Visit windownation.com to get started.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The game is over.
Second half begins with a throw. That was the intention, and Micah Parsons had other plans. 9 sacks this year for Micah Parsons.
And it's the day after.
It's about winning football games. At the end of the day, that's what this thing's about. It's just find a way to do it. Doesn't matter necessarily how it looks. I think when you have a defense that played the way that we did today, that kind of can dictate what you do offensively, and we did what we needed to do.
Let's react to the game and look ahead. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson.
Hey, welcome into another Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Thanksgiving week is here. Quick turnaround for the Packers. We got a lot of stuff to get to here. Gary Ellerson, Greg Matzik with you from the beautiful Potawatomi Sportsbook on a beautiful Monday night. Monday night football going off tonight. We got Bucks basketball tonight. Great night to be at the Sportsbook. Ton of college basketball as well as we approach Feast Week. Feast Week, Gary, which means you and I get to eat a lot. And for the Packers, they got a lot of football. 8 quarters at least of football here as they have a Vikings defeat, or win, I should say, in the rearview mirror, looking ahead now to Detroit. Jason Wilde joins us at 6:30. We look ahead to the Lions coming up at 7:30 with former Detroit Lions offensive lineman Lomas Brown. I want to start with what we saw yesterday. For the first time ever, I was a fan at a game at Lambeau Field yesterday. I had to think about this. I was up the game with a few friends, and we typically do a Badgers game and an overnight and spend the night in Madison and have a lot of fun. And midway through the Badgers season, we decided maybe we should turn our sights to the Packers instead. So we identified this game, and a friend of mine had asked, when was the last time you were at a game not as a member of the media? I said, I don't think I've ever been to a regular season game at Lambeau as a fan. So that was a first for me yesterday. 12 straight years of covering games as a member of the media, and got to take that hat off and put on a fan hat yesterday, and it was fun to be in the bowl at Lambeau Field on Sunday afternoon.
Funny that you mention that, because I'm close to retirement, and that's kind of one of the things that I'm actually looking forward to, is being a fan at Lambeau Field. I can't believe you just said, because I say this to because you know what, I have friends that go to the game. And I'm sure you, when you were going to Lambeau Field, you run into this all the time. My friends, Gary, where are you? Meet us over in such and such and such. We got a tailgate party over here. Can you meet us? And this has been happening to me for 30 years, where my friends call me when they're at Lambeau and they're at a tailgate party. Can I come and join them? No, I can't. I'm working.
I understand how that works, right? Yeah, I totally get that. We got a tailgate going on here. Shotgun this. No, I can't. Maybe just one. No, I can't.
So I get you. So how was it?
Great. It was great. We were in section 134. So section 134 is south end zone and kind of, I guess, sort of on what would be the southwest corner of the south end zone. So we had a pretty good view of some of the most impressive defensive plays I have ever seen from a human being on the football field in Micah Parsons. We'll get into that coming up in a minute. Very strong defensive performance by the Green Bay Packers and what they needed to do on offense. It was a very interesting dynamic in the bowl on Sunday afternoon because you start to hear some murmurs from the crowd like, we're doing that play again?
Yes.
What are we doing here? Throw the ball. Roll the quarterback out. Get deep. Vertical game. People trying to find reasons why there wasn't a lot of complexity to the offense and not a lot of flair to the offense. And in talking to my friends yesterday, I kind of analyzed the game at halftime and thought, well, the Packers are destroying the Minnesota Vikings, and it's 10-6. Now, the Vikings should not be in this game, but here we go. The Packers' inability to cash in on as many touchdowns as you'd think they probably should have is leaving the Vikings in this game. But then we started to think further. Jordan Love's got a bad shoulder.
Yep.
Matthew Golden's out. You're missing Tucker Kraft. You're missing Josh Jacobs. You got a game against a division rival in 4 days. At some point, I think, midway through that first quarter, maybe early in the second quarter, Matt LaFleur knew exactly what he needed to do to win that game. Our team is better than the Minnesota Vikings, and we don't have to get too cute to win this game. I think all of that stuff played in to what could accurately be described as a conservative game plan. I get that, but I understand the reasons for it. So I didn't leave that game disappointed or scratching my head saying, this is the Packers offense, this is the team that has Super Bowl hypes and aspirations. No, the team ran 65 plays, 42 were on the ground because they could, and because of everything else that I mentioned. Quarterback with a bum shoulder, Lions in 4 days. That's the game you got to win and be fresh for, and also maybe save a little bit of wrinkles. Because the last time I remember the Packers playing in Detroit on Thanksgiving, it was all gas and no bleep and break from Matt LaFleur, and they won that game.
Well, I mean, I agree with you 100%. And today I went back and listened to the telecast, and Greg Olsen and Greg kept talking about Greg Olsen, who played tight end. Did you play tight end for the Bears?
Bears and Panthers.
Yeah. He kept talking about, well, the Packers need to open up the offense. We need to open up. Jordan Love need to get some work. And that's all he was talking about. The Packers need to open up the offense. And from the most part, I went down in the mezzanine area where all the fans were at about halftime to try to go to the Packer Pro Shop to get some Christmas stuff. And most of the fans down there, they were kind of ho-humming it. They thought it was a very boring game. And I used 3 words last night on the post-game show last night with Homer. And I think these are 3 words I used. But it was boring. Okay, I get with you. But it was also efficient, and it was also dominating. That was as a dominating performance as you can ever get by a Packers football team last year. And I hate using some of these words, but they just took the life away from the Minnesota Vikings, and there was nothing that they can do about it. And it was a slow process. It was 4 quarters of imposing your will against the Vikings, and you're right, Matt LaFleur knew it. And I think that game plan evolved into that game plan, exactly what you said, that he realized this is it. This is all we really need to do to win this game and then to stay fresh for the Detroit Lions. And most people don't know, we've got a couple of guests coming on today. Jason Wilder will join us at, 6:30? And Lomas Brown, who I played with in Detroit. Yes, I played for the Lions. Lomas Brown, left tackle for the Detroit Lions, who's also now the color for the Lions. He'll join us at 7:30. They basically, the Packers, took away all the momentum from the Vikings for 4 quarters. It was an amazing thing to see. If you're a football purist and you watch that, it was unbelievable.
Packers did exactly what they had to do, and Matt LaFleur was left in the post-game press conference sort of defending his actions and game plan and how the plays sort of rolled out. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about doing what they had to do to win the game.
I think every game's a little bit different. I think, each defense is a little bit different. But, yeah, I just, to be able to call as many runs as we did, I think that shows the confidence that we had in our line. I thought our line was doing a pretty good job for the most part, and it's never going to be perfect, but I thought just we did what we had to do to win the football game.
Boring by design.
Yeah.
That was how I phrased it.
Yes.
Driving home yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Belton went into that game to play offensive line. My friends and I looked at each other and said, whoa, is the other guy hurt? What happened? Anthony Belton's in. No, it was a run game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a running football game. Therefore, Anthony Belton deserves more snaps. He's got some work to do in pass protection, but as a run mauler, he's a mauler.
Yeah.
That's why he was in the game. So Matt LaFleur decided at some point, look, this is what we're going to do. Let's keep our quarterback out of harm's way. If we have to pass, we will, and we can certainly do that. They didn't overextend, nothing crazy, no end arounds, nothing that would pop off the tape here for the Detroit Lions. You call it boring, go right ahead. I call it smart and effective, and it's a win.
Yeah, and that's really all you want. But I know I know some people are constantly judging Matt LaFleur and his game plan and what he does. I mean, not a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, they were talking about him being fired. Are you worried about your job? So there was job security going on. Matt LaFleur is not going anywhere. I mean, where are you going to find another one? And so that means you got to go hire some assistant who hadn't proven himself, and you're not going to get Sean Payton from Denver, so just stop it. So you need to get on board what Matt LaFleur is doing. They've got a lot of injuries, a lot of guys out, and they still continue to play really good football and put their best foot forward. But you're right. I thought the defense yesterday just was Devontae Wyatt, and we haven't talked about him much, but he had 2 sacks yesterday. And those are the kind of things that you got to have from the other people outside of Micah Parsons to make this thing work.
Isaiah McDuffie with a big day, highest graded player for Pro Football Focus.
Yes.
Micah Parsons just ruined everything. 5 sacks total here for the Packers. And Warren Brinson, rookie out of Georgia, had his best game as a pro. Definitely want to ask Jason Wilde about that because he could fall into that category of late season emerging player. He had a key position here for the Green Bay Packers on that defensive line. We'll get into him and his performance, that rookie out of Georgia, coming up a little bit later in the program. I don't think Matt LaFleur went into the game saying, we're going to hand it off to Emmanuel Wilson 28 times. He's going to get 30-plus touches and account for 125 yards. But as the game wore on, he realized he could do it and get away with it because it was 3 to 7 yards, and that was enough. That was okay. Again, nothing sexy. It was between the tackles. I would say 85% of his runs were between the tackles, Gary.
Yeah.
And the Packers just won at the line of scrimmage. And it was manageable down and distance. It was pushing the pile. Made a great read and plowing over a linebacker in the hole on his first touchdown. Had a nose for the end zone. Caught passes that came his way. Josh Jacobs was ruled out, and I thought to myself, well, if the Packers aren't playing on Thursday, I think Josh Jacobs plays. I don't know for sure. That was my gut feeling. But the fact that you have an Emmanuel Wilson who you can give the rock to 28 times in a division game late in the season, November football at Lambeau, that's more than just a backup you trust. That's a backup who's got a little something. And the Packers used him repeatedly. And the offense was on his shoulders yesterday.
Right. Yes.
The backup running back.
Yeah. And I will say this, and Matt LaFleur made a point of it, that I call these same plays over and over again. Did you hear that?
I did. There was a fascinating quote.
And that was back to you people who said the other team, when we played them, they knew where the play was going and called the play out. He ran the same formation, same play over and over again. Guess what? The defense, the Vikings, couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't stop it. So what he's trying to tell all you people, they were talking about, they're calling your play out, do something different. They all know the plays. But we have to put those plays in motion and execute them. They all know what the plays are coming. And that's what the Packers did. They executed, and the Vikings knew what were coming, but they couldn't stop it. And that's when you know the play, but there's nothing you can do about it, and they were getting chunk runs, like 8, 9, 10 yards. I love what Emmanuel Wilson did in that he broke a lot of tackles, but he was clear for 1 or 2 yards to actually get going. And that hadn't been happening in games before this because Josh Jacobs was getting hit in the backfield. He was getting stumbled in the backfield. Yesterday, you saw a lot of bigger runs because we were able to get then to the second level, and maybe Belton had a lot to do with that.
Well, it was interesting to watch. Now, a couple of nitpicking things to me. It's still 3rd and 1. You got to be able to convert that.
Yeah.
And they did run into some issues in that short yardage situation, which led to Brandon McManus field goals or even, I think, at a time, a punt. That's what made that game feel closer than it really was at halftime. It was 10-6, and it probably should have been a little more lopsided than that. And it was largely due to their inability to convert those 3rd and 1s by running those basic up-the-gut sort of run plays. So I think it got him at a couple of times, but Matt LaFleur stuck with his game plan, that evolved game plan that ultimately just took over the day. Couple of short yardage situations fell short.
I don't think you would like to get the short yardage, but I don't think Matt LaFleur had a problem sending McManus out there, because what you got, he got work. He was ready to kick the field goal.
Sure.
So now, you know what I'm going to do in this game, too? We don't make it. We're good. Let's go, McManus. Let's get you back going. Let's give you some – let's get all your extra points in. Let's get your field goal. And so what you did in that, from the McManus standpoint, kickers are very – sometimes they can be a little different. Let's get his confidence back up. And I think you saw that out of Matt LaFleur and McManus, because you're going to need him to make some kicks from here on out. And I think you got your kicker going within that game as well.
Packers are still rostering 2 kickers, for what it's worth. Lucas Haversick is still a member of this team. Great day for Daniel Whelan as well. Pretty much a complete win for the Green Bay Packers, and they needed it. Right now, 7-3-1, tied with the Detroit Lions in the win column. Detroit has 1 more loss. Bears and Packers are tied in the loss column. Of course, the Packers tie skews things a little bit. Chicago with 1 more win. Next up on the Packers schedule, the Lions, followed by the Bears. You want to win the division, you must win within the division. Packers will have that opportunity. Want to detail the day in defense coming up on the other side. Jason Wilde will join us at 6:30. A treat to speak with Lomas Brown coming up at 7:30 on the heels of a Lions overtime win over the New York Giants. Much more after this. Just getting started here. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday from Potawatomi Sportsbook.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. On this show, it's always football season.
You won a road game after losing 2 games in kind of gut-wrenching fashion.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yesterday was one of those games where bad teams and teams that aren't doing anything lose. They found a way to win, and I think that's something to build off of going into what Bill Belichick and everybody used to always say, the season really starts on Thanksgiving.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
St. Nick meets St. Kate. The holidays are in full swing at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, where every celebration shines a little brighter. Browse unique gifts at the holiday marketplace, gather for unforgettable Christmas Eve and Christmas Day dining, and of course, don't miss Brunch with Santa, a family favorite filled with joy, treats, and holiday magic. Celebrate the season at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Visit stkatearts.com/holidays for all the details.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out The Best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Steinhaffel's biggest Black Friday sale is happening now. Save 10% store-wide and get $50 instant cash back for every $4.99 you spend. Plus, get a $200 MasterCard rewards card when you use your Steinhaffel's credit card. And get amazing doorbusters like recliners at $229 and sofas just $299. Plus, buy a premium mattress and get free premier delivery on everything. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Blain's Farm and Fleet's early Black Friday deals have arrived, in-store and online while supplies last. Right now, shop early Black Friday-like savings store-wide on the things you need and the brands you love. Like new men's work and sport thermal Henleys or Cambridge flannels, just $19.99. A DeWalt shop stool with casters, $99.99. Rewards members save an extra $5. And select men's Keen hiking boots, half price, $74.99. Don't miss early Black Friday deals in-store and online only at Blain's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack selected varieties essential everyday purified water, 2 for $6. 9 to 13.1 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch Crunch, Ripple, or Restaurant Tortilla Chips, 2 for $5.50. 64 ounce selected varieties Ocean Spray Cranberry Juice, $2.99. 75 to 80 count or 12 ounce selected varieties Lysol Disinfecting Wipes or Spray, $4.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
Nothing pairs better with the day before Thanksgiving than Hoops Friends and the superior taste of Michelob Ultra. Join me, Josh DiMaggio, and the ESPN Milwaukee Street Team this Wednesday at 3rd Street Market Hall to watch the Bucks take on the Miami Heat. We'll have prizes, ice-cold Michelob Ultra, and your chance to win a pair of Ultra Club Bucks Suite tickets for the December 31st home game. Michelob Ultra, the official beer sponsor of your Milwaukee Bucks. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Deer Camp Milwaukee, Club Paragon Greenfield, and Bullwinkle's Brookfield.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
McCarthy down the seam and too tall and picked off. Second interception for the Packers the last 2 drives. Evan Williams, second week in a row, he's got one.
Now, the call from Fox says the Packers closed out the Minnesota Vikings. That interception by Evan Williams came with 3:37 left to go in the fourth quarter. And then he promptly trotted down to the south end zone, Gary, with 5 of his defensive teammates. And they mocked the Minnesota Vikings skull chant. And it took all of, 2.5 seconds for that to ripple around the entire stadium at 80,000 people with a straight arm clap above their heads. Unless you were dressed in purple, of course, and then your hands were by your side. And you're trying to figure out if there's a opportunity for the backup quarterback maybe to take the field.
I just posted it on my story
just
that. Now. I don't know where I got it from, but I just saw it. Hopefully the people get it. But yeah, that was absolutely incredible because that's all you hear when you go to Minnesota. And once again, Packer fans, there were a lot of Vikings fans in that stadium. Were there many by you, Greg? Or no?
So they were sort of peppered about. And I understand, too. It's, weekend number 1 of the gun deer hunt season, all that kind of stuff. So maybe it was a little thinner herd than usual. But, hey, a lot of Packers fans with season tickets don't live in the state either, right? So they're not able to get back to these games. They sell to whoever's going to buy. That's just how it is. That's how it is around the stadium. And we never admonish Packers fans for traveling well, right? We love that. We love it when the Packers take over other stadiums.
Well, we take over Arizona every time.
Vikings fans did not take over, but there were Vikings fans there. That's how it's going to be. It's how it's always going to be. But they were quiet yesterday. They were largely very quiet. And the defense was the backbone of yesterday's win. I get it. Manuel Wilson had 28 carries, over 30 touches. It was a efficient day on offense for the most part, but nothing really gaudy about the numbers here. A couple of 100 yards, and you got the job done. But watching the Packers play defense, I was reminded of why I was so excited in weeks number 1 and 2 of the season. It felt to me like at a point in the middle portion of the season, kind of against the Bengals, saw it a little bit against Carolina. It's like, where was that gang mentality in tackling? Right? Some of that was missing, I felt, in the middle portion of the season. That returned on Sunday. Now, there's a lot that goes into the assessment of the Packers' defense. Number 1, they're playing fast, even without a couple of stars. Quay Walker was out. Keyshawn Nixon got hurt. What I found amazing, though, is that after Keyshawn Nixon left, how many times was Justin Jefferson even targeted by J.J. McCarthy? Twice? In the game?
That's about it.
They never tested him. If Keyshawn doesn't play on Thursday, guess who's getting tested? Kamal Hayden. Right? And the rookie who had first opportunity to play meaningful snaps on Sunday.
But why is he getting tested?
And he was never even tested.
But why, you think?
Well, J.J. McCarthy's a terrible quarterback.
He's just that bad.
Right. So the Lions are going to see that and smell blood in the water, right? Going after that
Jared
kid.
Goff is throwing the ball.
Left and right.
Yeah, Jared Goff is throwing the ball. But the only problem that they got to figure that out. But Jared Goff is going to throw the ball. that's just the way it's going to happen. But Jahmyr Gibbs had over 200 yards, caught 11 passes the other day against the Giants. He's on fire. But so you've got to figure out, if you're the Lions, which way you're going with this thing.
And you can go multiple directions.
You can, because the Packers' defense, I think, if you want to go at them, I think, is to rush the football, to set up the pass. But, I mean, they've got a lot of weapons where they can throw the ball around. Jared Goff can be efficient quarterback. I mean, that dude can go 22 of 25 like it's no tomorrow and kick your butt with it. So I think it's going to be about Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, at the end of the day. But you're right about the defense. J.J. McCarthy just didn't give you anything, nothing to be afraid of. I mean, if you took away his first read, it was tough to go 2-3, 1-2. He'd go 1, but it was tough for him to go to 2, the second, and the third read. So then you can get on top of him and get the sack. So he was indecisive about where he wants to go. So that made it easy. And then they really couldn't run the football consistently like they wanted to, because they really wouldn't get in the big chunk yards that they wanted in order to win the game. So they were forced to throw the ball. And I think once you get that Packers defense like that, I think that's their strong suit, is to rush the passer, get you in third and long.
Sure.
And that's what they did the whole game long.
It keeps number one on the field, right? In those obvious passing situations, he is going to be on the field. And I would say he plays the run just fine, but he's on the field to wreck the quarterback, which he did with regularity yesterday. The Vikings offense struggled mightily. I am shocked they didn't try and test the field once with Justin Jefferson. I'm shocked. And I get it, inexperienced quarterback, but also look at the scoreboard. You're down. You got to get yourself back into this. Best pass J.J. McCarthy was on drive number 1.
Yeah.
The first drive of the game, he hit Justin Jefferson on a crossing route, threw it low, only J.J. could get it.
Yeah, threw it over top of the defender,
right? I mean, brilliant. That was outstanding, and he thought, oh, boy, here we go. Another classic Vikings-Packers game. But he was awful. Yeah. He was absolutely awful, but that is not to undercut how the Packers defense forced his hand.
They did.
On occasion.
They did. I mean, great credit go to Halfley. I mean, I saw him in his presser last week, and they were talking about turnovers. He said, it's coming. We're going to get them. It's coming. And once again, I mean, you get 2 interceptions in that game, and then special teams, you get a fumble recovery on special teams, which that hadn't happened to us in a long time. Special teams actually play good. All 3 phases yesterday played just about as good as you would like for them to play heading to a big game here on Thursday against the Detroit Lions.
So I'm in the south end zone, and it's getting to be later in the game, second half. Vikings have the ball after a punt was down inside the 5-yard line. Right, well, it had about the 10, but there was a sack that pushed him back further. Now they're at like the 2-yard line. And here comes Micah Parsons timing up the snap.
Yeah.
And taking a 320-pound center and throwing him back into the lap of J.J. McCarthy. That was right in front of me. The amount of speed and force that he created in 3 steps, Gary, I've never seen anything quite like that. That up close. Man, I've maybe seen something like that from the press box. But when you're on top of it, like anybody in that south end zone had the good fortune of being, I've never seen a player generate that much speed and force in 3 steps.
Well, his closing speed to me it's like he's shot out of a cannon. I mean, he gets on top of you so fast, so quick. It's awe-inspiring when you see it, what he does. And he's not Myles Garrett. He's not Reggie White, meaning that he's not that size. He's not that big like that. But he's just so powerful, and he's just so quick and explosive with his moves are incredible. I mean, he's not Julius Peppers. You know what I mean? So I'm giving you these guys that are 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds. He's none of that. But what he generates out of his body is absolutely incredible.
He was amazing yesterday, and in recording 2 sacks, Micah Parsons now has a stat line that shows in his 10 games as a Packer, 10 sacks, 20 quarterback hits, and 60 pressures.
Yeah.
In 10 games.
His pressures, and that's the stat that really kind of get lost because, Greg, his pressures leads to what? sacks.
Forced throws, sacks, I mean, you name it.
Sacks from these other teammates.
Other guys, right.
That's what those
hurries.
Hurries. Because they're getting out of there. And then next thing you know, there's Rashawn Gary. Then there's Devontae Wyatt. There's Enoch Bari. I mean, a lot of these guys are eating because of him. And so and they knew that when they made the move, they had to make that move because they needed that guy. And everybody else's numbers are going to go out around. I mean, you look at Jeff Hafley, he could be in for a big payday because of Micah Parsons.
Fifth consecutive 10-sack season for Micah Parsons. And you want to play this for you real quick. Micah Parsons says, look, that's the norm. You're paying me to be this guy. This is important. 10 is kind of the bare minimum. Here's Micah.
You know, you always should be appreciative. Like, it's such a difficult feat. Like, I wouldn't say it's like a feat where it's, like, very easy or anything like that. But, you know, it's a standard of play. Like, I would say, like, me and CD Lamb used to say, like, 1,000 yards is like the minimum. So I feel like 10 sacks for the standard of player you are, that should be the minimum you should get. And for me, mine was always 10 sacks, so I'm beating him right now.
Incredible day for Micah Parsons. Want to dive into some of the other defensive stars with Jason Wilde on the other side. How much did you know about Warren Brinson before yesterday's game? Well, he's becoming a headliner here in this Green Bay defense. Much more with Wilde on the other side. Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday continues.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Welcome to Jackpot Land, this fall at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all fall to win your share of thousands in prizes each month and earn entries into the big December Jackpot Land prize drawings. Your October, November, and December entries all count. Win thousands in cash or reward play. Welcome to Jackpot Land, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
For my money, there's no doubt that Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills quarterback, is the best player. Not just the best quarterback, but the best player in the National Football League. But man, oh man, he's going to put on that Superman cape maybe every game and in the playoffs from now on if the Buffalo Bills are going to have any kind of chance to do something that they've never done, win a Super Bowl championship, or do something they have not done in a long, long time. That is get in a position to be in a Super Bowl to take on the winner of the NFC. That's how much pressure is on Josh Allen. For my money, he has more on him with his football team than anybody else. Does he have weapons? Yes and no. Yeah, James Cook is a reliable weapon as a running back in the backfield. But those no-name wide receivers that you may not know about will have to become names to help out the biggest name regarding the Buffalo Bills offense. It's wonderful to know that any given time the Superman can throw on that cape and make it work. For Josh Allen, that is a reality, not just a fantasy. In 60 seconds, how good are the Chicago Bears?
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
They're leading their division at 7-3. But how good is this team? The team I'm talking about, the Chicago Bears, leading NFC North, a slight advantage over the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions in high pursuit. They've had some wins at 7, but you look at their schedule, who have they beaten? With the Dallas Cowboys, they can't play defense. Las Vegas Raiders, enough said. Washington Commanders, they lost to the Baltimore Ravens 30-16, but they beaten the Saints, enough said. The Bengals, no defense. The Giants, struggling. And Minnesota Vikings, whose quarterback J.J. McCarthy can't make plays when they need him. So they're leading their division. But how good are the Chicago Bears at 7-3? We're about to find out. They play the Steelers, the Eagles, and the Packers in the next 3 weeks. Plus, they got the Cleveland Browns, whose defense is really good. If the Bears think they are good, we're all about to find out sooner than later. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Quick turnaround here for the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. A noon kickoff, not that funny 11:30 kickoff that you're used to on Thanksgiving, the game number one of the day here, but it's a noon kickoff from Ford Field. Packers will come into the game kind of beat up and hopefully getting a little better. A lot of players held out of yesterday's win over the Minnesota Vikings. Key injuries to Keyshawn Nixon in that game. We'll check on his status a little later in the week. We check on the team with Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. Excellent work online at channel3000.com. Hey, Jason.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
You're doing well here. So any update on Keyshawn Nixon first and foremost? I found it interesting that, the backup, Kamal Hadden, was not tested really at all in that game after Nixon went out. But most assuredly, if Nixon is not playing on Thursday, they're going to test the new guy, Jared Goff, and that Lions offense.
Yeah, so, look, the struggle that I have, because I really like Kamal Hadden. One of my favorite moments of my entire career was earlier this season. I'm just, Gary knows this, I'm a very friendly guy. I'm just a friendly guy. And I said hello to him in the locker room. Hey, Kamal, how's it going? And he said, you know my name? And I said, Kamal, it's my job to know your name. Like, that's what I do. And I said, and let's be honest, if you get an opportunity at some point in your career, I'm not doing it for this reason, but hey, you'll actually remember the guy who knew your name, right? And lo and behold, he's out there yesterday that was his first time he's ever played a defensive snap in an NFL game. So I was happy to see him get that opportunity. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm pretty sure that your old teammate Lynn Dickey could have gone out there at his current age, Gary, and played at a higher level than J.J. McCarthy did. I'm being a little bit facetious, but you know what I mean. It was not pretty. Now, according to today's injury report from the Packers, if they had practice today, which obviously they did not, but they estimated participation, and they listed Keyshawn Nixon as did not participate. Now, they did list Nate Hobbs as if he would have been a limited participant after missing the last couple of games, bless you, with his knee injury. Now, the question is, you can't expect Kamal Hadden to shut down Amon-Ra St. Brown, they've got all kinds of weapons over there in Detroit. But did he get enough of a taste that if it's a choice, let's say you don't have Nixon, and Hobbs is kind of iffy coming back from the knee, are you willing to play Kamal Hadden ahead of Hobbs if he's healthy or healthy-ish? That'll be one of the questions they'll have to face. I'm still not sure Hobbs will be ready, but they're hoping Keyshawn Nixon can go. But stingers, man, I don't think that's a thing you want to be rushing back.
No, it's not, because it could probably turn into something else. And normally your arm gets pretty weak when that stinger occurs. I would say this to you. As we were looking at the game and we saw Jordan Morgan in, and then we saw Belton, then it felt like it was rotation. Then second half, there was no more Jordan Morgan. Is this an ongoing thing with Matt LaFleur and the offensive coaching staff, or rotating players, or is it by design, or is it we're running the football this game and passing the football this game because this guy's better than that? Do you get a real feel on the offensive line and how they rotate their guys?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, Gary. I think one of them is it's kind of the hot hand and who's playing better, right? That's a key component. But then the other one is, what's our game plan and what is this guy's strengths? I think Matt LaFleur took that approach a little bit with Jordan Morgan versus Sean Ryan when it was at right guard. And those guys, some games they would rotate. Some games, like Sean Ryan got one series and then he was gone. Yesterday they obviously were very dedicated to the run. Didn't see the point in risking things when the opposing quarterback would have had a hard time outplaying the Grayson kid from West Appear that won a state title. I just think that Belton makes sense as a run blocker. Matt LaFleur talked about him being a mauler. But at the same time, it's not like you can say, okay, this is these guys are our run guards, and then these guys are our pass set guards, right? So what are they going to do this week? Is Jordan Morgan, because it's not like he has practices, right, to try and earn more snaps back. He just has whatever film from his 21 snaps. But if you get into a throwing game, which I'm guessing is more likely, how confident are you in Anthony Belton as a pass-protecting guard versus Jordan Morgan, who is a lifelong left tackle and probably belongs there now in the NFL because he's really struggled with inconsistency at guard? I don't know the answer, Gary, but to me, when you go with a guy for the entirety of the second half, you're saying, we think this guy's better, so we're going to play him instead of the other guy that he was rotating with.
65 plays, 42 of them were rushing plays, 28 carries for Emmanuel Wilson. Yes, quite an evolved game plan here for Matt LaFleur. Didn't have to be sexy. Save that for Thursday, perhaps, if you need it, against the Lions. I put in my notes here, Jason, I do prep for this show, believe it or not. It said, ask Wildy about Warren Brinson. I don't know if he's going to fit into the category of like a Howard Green from 2020, this sort of, late season, come on. I get it. In the case of Green, he was a veteran acquired by the Packers, about halfway through the season, a little beyond, and had a key moment in the Super Bowl, of course, and came back the next year. But Warren Brinson is not a player I knew a lot about, but he was everywhere yesterday, and that could be the Minnesota Vikings anemic offense, or it could be a player who is starting to emerge in his rookie season at a great time.
Yeah, that's, he did have some moments yesterday. There's no two ways about that. And I got to admit, I'm fascinated by the number of Georgia interior defensive linemen this team has, right? They don't have the two guys that are in Philly, right? But they've got Warren Brinson, they've got Nazir Stackhouse, and of course they've got Devontae Wyatt, who was their first-round pick a couple of years ago. I mean, to me, that's like if Wisconsin was once running back you or offensive line you, just as Tausch and all the guys that came out of there, McIntosh, et cetera, then is Georgia defensive tackle you, or they're just good at every position? But Brinson did flash. And, without Carl Brooks, or with Carl Brooks dealing with the ankle injury, I should say, there's value. There's huge value in having a rookie who hasn't really contributed to this point stepping in and having a role. And that's exactly what he did. And I'm not sure he's going to have a Super Bowl memorable play like Howard Green, but I think there's going to be more opportunities for him to impact the game for sure.
As we try to unpack the game and then move forward Thursday, I thought it was a great game plan by Matt LaFleur in that I felt that he felt that game plan evolved and they had control of the game. Let's save our quarterback. Let's save some wear and tear. Josh Jacobs, I don't know if he could play or not, but let's say if he could, but he didn't. And then so we're moving towards Thursday. I thought it was just try to look in towards Thursday to try to get some guys some rest.
Yeah, look, I know there are people that don't agree with us, Gary, but I'm glad that you and I, as often is the case, on this show and just in real life.
Does Mark agree with us or no?
Tausch does too, yes. But I had a lot of fans and even some fans today, responding to Tausch's and my thoughts, disagreeing with us. So, and Kyle Wallace, our teammate on KBN, very frustrated that they didn't go for they didn't have Love throw the ball on 3rd and 3 when they could have scored a touchdown instead of settling for a field goal that made it a 14-point game. And I understand it, but I think we're kind of looking at the big picture there. And what I don't understand is anybody who says that they should have done that, I'd be curious what they said in week 3 when the Packers should have, and I'm not absolving Jordan, it was a bad throw and a bad decision, but they throw an interception deep in their own territory that sets the Browns up for their only touchdown of the day. There was no way that anemic offense was going to be able to move the ball the length of the field. So if he'd have played it safe there and not had Jordan Love throw it and had a handoff instead and punted it away, the Packers don't lose in Cleveland. So now he gets in a situation, not exactly the same, but similar. He's got a quarterback with and by the way, let's be understanding of what Jordan Love played through yesterday, right? This is the same injury, although in varying seriousness levels, that knocked Baker Mayfield out of last night's game, right? AC joint in the non-throwing arm, in his left where his collarbone meets the rib cage. So he can't finish the game. Love came back and finished the Giants game and then played yesterday. Remember when Carson Wentz was serving as the Vikings quarterback and was in such excruciating pain that it was hard to watch him play in that game? AC joint in his non-throwing shoulder. So the idea that LaFleur was just ultra conservative and didn't go for the throat, I just don't agree with it. I think the game plan was great. They ran the ball a ton. The game was over at 2:44. When's the last time a noon start was done before 3 o'clock, that far in front of the 3 o'clock hour? They only ran 45 plays. Their defense was only on the field for 44 plays. The Lions, those guys were in an overtime game, back and forth. They played 70 plays on each side of the ball. And you protected Love not only from a mistake that could have given the Vikings life in that game, but more importantly, protected him from being in danger. And we saw earlier in the game there were some missed blocking assignments where Eric Wilson came out of nowhere, unblocked up the middle, and lit him up. So I'm with you, Gary. I thought it was exactly the right call and exactly the right plan for that game, especially after they took the 17-6 lead after the fumble recovery by Zane Anderson. And I just fundamentally disagree with anybody who isn't on that team with us.
Yeah, and Gary made a great point, too. The benefit of, not picking up that 3rd and 3, and, yeah, it was just kind of a basic call. I get it. You get Brandon McManus a little bit work. Who's been struggling in the kicking department? Who's trying to come back from injury and maybe regain a little bit of confidence going into the crunch time portion of the schedule? I thought, Gary, you made a great point saying, I don't think Matt LaFleur was all that mad to get his kicker out there, get him some reps, and see the ball go through the uprights. That was a great point.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't love the fact having to praise Gary so extensively and effusively about what a great point he made, but it absolutely is. It is a great point.
I want to ask you about Josh Jacobs because we talk about this idea of 2 games in 4 days. That is tough for anybody, regardless of how many snaps you played. But Emmanuel Wilson, God bless him, had 28 carries, over 30 touches, and 125 yards from scrimmage. I mean, he became the focal point of the game. I don't know how he will be able to bounce back specifically on Thursday, but you may not have to bounce back much if Josh Jacobs is there, Jason. What's your read on Jacobs' potential to play on Thursday?
Yeah, I can only go, Greg, off of what Josh Jacobs told me during the week, and that was very simple in his mind. The worst-case scenario for him was to sit out yesterday's game and then absolutely, positively play on Thursday. So he believed he could have played in that game yesterday. They wisely, in my opinion, held him out because, as I said to him, that's great if you think that's the worst-case scenario. I got the worst-case scenario for you. You go out there and play on Sunday, you aggravate that bone bruise in your knee and the bruised quadriceps you suffered on the same play. And then not only do you not play on Thursday, but then you don't play against the Bears either. That's the worst-case scenario in my mind. And so I think they did the right thing, protected him from himself, but he anticipates being full go in this game on Thursday. We didn't have access today. I'm sure we'll talk to him tomorrow in the locker room. But I think there's a very strong feeling that by sitting him, he is going to be closer to fully healthy. I mean, remember, this is not a structural damage issue. This is a bone bruise and a bruised thigh muscle from that hard concrete turf at the Meadowlands. So I think they feel good that extra time and no more wear and tear by not playing in the game will have him ready for this one.
And one last quick question. Jaden Reed, his availability, do we know?
Yeah, that's a good question, Gary. Not as good as your point about the kicker. I really do think that was a good point.
I really like that.
I wish I would have. I really wish I would have brought that up. I wish I would have used that in my story. Where were you? I saw you at the game. I don't know why you didn't tell me then. Look, I think it's still. I think that's still a pretty quick turnaround for Jaden Reed. I mean, he practiced on Friday on a limited basis when they opened the window, but he basically just ran routes and did individual drills. And then obviously this week they're not doing any practice, right? They're doing walkthroughs and jog-throughs only. So I don't think it's realistic to have him play. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was, I would bet on Chicago. And that's because he'll have a bonus practice, remember, on Monday, because you get this kind of mini bye after the Thanksgiving game. And on top of that, he loves playing in Chicago. He's from Chicago. He grew up there. I think Matt LaFleur does take that kind of stuff into account. Timing-wise, though, it just makes the most sense.
This is really going to be the last one. Thoughts on Thursday, Packers in Detroit against the Lions. How you feel about that game?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Gary, you and I have so much history. You never have to apologize for asking extra questions. Secondly, I don't. Look, I'm really intrigued by this game. I think this is, the Lions aren't the same team they were in the opener, but at the same time, they have had some real issues offensively, right? I mean, if you look at what they've gone, they took away the play calling duties from John Morton, their offensive coordinator. Dan Campbell took them over. They've had 2 games where they were extremely productive, and one where they were not, with him calling the plays. So I don't know what to expect from them. What I will say is, for those that, going back to our earlier conversation, thought LaFleur was too conservative, remember what he did when they went into Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, and went in there and he had the big play to Watson over the top early. Like, I think LaFleur knows that this is a game that they have to get after the Lions, and this is going to be a game where they're going to have to score some points, even though he believes he's got one of the best defenses in the league. So I would expect this to be more of a let Jordan Love cook type of game, with certainly Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson also running the football. But I think it's a toss-up game. I really do. The Lions have this weirdly bad history on Thanksgiving in their own building lately too, over the last decade. So this one to me is a coin flip. To go back to the very beginning of our conversation, I don't understand why it's at noon. The whole 11. It's supposed to be at 11:30, man.
Yeah, they're breaking tradition here. I don't really understand it. What's the point? Does it make for a shorter halftime? I always have found the Thanksgiving halftime to be brutally long. I don't need all that. So if it shortens halftime, I'm actually for it.
I think there's been some pretty decent Detroit halftimes, frankly. And having covered, I must have covered probably, when I was still traveling, probably 6-7 Thanksgiving games. My favorite of all time, though, because now I'm going to keep this even longer and mess up your clock, was when the Packers played in Dallas in 1999. They played the week before Thanksgiving, and they recorded a Shania Twain concert after the game that then they were going to play after the Thanksgiving game in Dallas. So it was plausibly live, but it really wasn't. And something went wrong. So we're all in the press box writing our stories, enjoying Shania's wonderful music. And they get about 5 songs in, and they realize they messed up something with the recording. So they had to start from scratch. So we got like 1.5 Shania Twain concerts. And then I was able to watch it when I was home on Thanksgiving or when we were in Detroit on Thanksgiving, whatever it was, the following week. So that's one of my favorites. All right, guys, I have used up way too much of your show. I blame Gary. Take care.
Oh, yeah, we always do. It's good stuff, Jason. Jason Wilde, check out Wilde and Tausch tomorrow on ESPN Wisconsin, 9 to noon. He and the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Excellent work here, recapping the Packers' win over the Vikings and looking ahead to Detroit at channel3000.com. Always appreciate it, Wilde. Thank you. Oh, he did hang up quick. Jack White, by the way, of the White Stripes.
Be good. We didn't get it.
We didn't, actually. Will, would you text him? We didn't get a, all right, guys, take care, be good. He did say it?
Take care, be good.
Yeah, we missed it.
Okay, I may have missed it. I guess I just missed it. Jack White, by the way, of the White Stripes, is the halftime show. The entertainment for Packers and Lions.
Who is it?
We will wrap up hour number 1. No, we got to go to break
Jack
after
White.
this.
Who is that guy?
I'll tell you during the break.
Okay, fine.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Looking for a fun and meaningful way to kick off the holiday season? Join us for the 20th anniversary of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive, Saturday, December 13th at the Kasmeric Center in Grafton. This free, family-friendly event is a celebration of giving. Bring a new, unwrapped toy and help brighten the holidays for children and families in need across Wisconsin. To learn more or get involved, visit kidstokidstoydrive.com and join us on December 13th in Grafton.
Honey, look, 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees, terms, and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Whether it's morning routines or weekends on the sidelines when the temperature drops, America brings the heat with Hot Hands. Hot Hands are America's favorite hand, toe, neck, and even body warmers to help you stay warm and cozy from head to toe. Hot Hands are fast-acting, they're long-lasting, and they are made right here in the USA. Look for the Hot Hands logo and the bright orange packages at your favorite store or online, and keep doing what you love out there with Hot Hands, warming up America coast to coast.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
A father faces homelessness. A mother is hospitalized, and there's no one to watch their children. La Causa Crisis Nursery and Respite Center is the only free 24/7 crisis nursery in Milwaukee. It's a safe and nurturing place for children aged 0 to 12 to stay while their parents work to regain stability and strength. Your generosity keeps La Causa's doors open and provides meals, classroom resources, mental health support, and more. Every child deserves the chance to dream, grow, and thrive. Make a difference by donating today at lacausa.org.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta restaurants And thank you, Milwaukee.
Nothing pairs better with the day before Thanksgiving than hoops, friends, and the superior taste of Michelob Ultra. Join me, Josh DiMaggio, and the ESPN Milwaukee Street Team this Wednesday at 3rd Street Market Hall to watch the Bucks take on the Miami Heat. We'll have prizes, ice-cold Michelob Ultra, and your chance to win a pair of Ultra Club Bucks Suite tickets for the December 31st home game. Michelob Ultra, the official beer sponsor of your Milwaukee Bucks. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Deer Camp Milwaukee, Club Paragon Greenfield, and Bullwinkle's Brookfield.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, so Gary wanted to know about the halftime entertainment here. I find halftime during Thanksgiving games to be far too long. I just want to get back to the football, that's all. With respect to the whatever artist is going to be on the field during this halftime concert that they put on, which is never really grabs me, right? It's not like the Super Bowl halftime show, but they try and make it to be something along that line. So you got Jack White of the White Stripes in Detroit. You also have Post Malone and Lil Wayne at the other games. Remember,
Lil Wayne is coming?
Well, he's going to be a halftime performer.
At where? Does it say?
I don't know what game he's got. He does not have. You got NFL on Thanksgiving. Post Malone, Lil Jon, Jack White headline the halftimes of the different games. Plus, you've got Renee Elise Goldsberry of Hamilton. She'll be handling the national anthem at the game in Baltimore. Baltimore and the Bengals are the night game, for those keeping score.
And we got White Stripe.
Jack White will be in Detroit. He's a Detroit native.
Okay, that makes sense.
Post Malone is in Dallas, and Lil Jon is in Baltimore.
Oh, Lil Jon, not Lil Wayne.
I'm sorry, Lil Jon.
Okay.
I screwed that up. Are they related? Feels like they should be.
Lil somebody.
Yeah.
There's always Lil Yachty.
Lil Bow Wow.
Lil Bow Wow, Lil
He's
something.
grown up, right?
Always got to have Lil in
years
front
old.
of your name, right? Come on, man. What's wrong with these people?
Lil Gary and I will be back here in just a couple of minutes to get into the Detroit matchup here with Lomas Brown. He is joining us at 7:30, color analyst for the Lions Radio Network and a former teammate of yours, too, right?
Yes.
Block for you and Barry Sanders?
Yeah. Oh, how about that?
That's amazing.
What did Coinky do?
I want him to compare some notes.
No,
what did Gary have that Barry didn't?
We're not doing that.
I want to know that. I want to know the answer to that. Because I'm sure you had something that Barry didn't.
No, I didn't.
You had those big shoulder pads on?
No, I probably had big shoulder pads.
Right, you were a bruiser.
Yeah.
Barry wasn't a bruiser.
No, fine.
Right?
No, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Well, ask Lomas. What could Gary do that Barry couldn't?
Yeah, oh, man. Don't put him on the spot like that.
Well, we'll let him text him. Hey, you got to be thinking of an answer by now. We'll get into it a little buy or sell coming up as well. The Packers' day on defense and how do they knock off the Lions in Detroit. They did it a couple of years ago. It was on the gas pedal for Matt LaFleur. Will they need a similar approach here on Thursday afternoon? Plenty more to get to here. Hour number 2 of Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
A blizzard of $300,000 in prizes is rolling into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It's Arctic action. One in? Step 1. Earn entries with your rewards card December 1st to the 18th. Step 2. Show up for Thursday drawings. Step 3. Be ready for a chance to pick from a weekly prize board. As a bonus, there'll be a jackpot drawing for the leftover prizes. Arctic action. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It's back Black Friday at Ewald Automotive Group, and it's our biggest event yet. Shop vehicles with up to $10,000 off, or 0% financing, or 0 down. We'll do whatever it takes to move all remaining 2025s. Our biggest savings of the year, lowest interest rates, maximum trade values, and huge selection. Black Friday is back now at every Ewald location.
On select models with approved credit offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. Expires a month end.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The game is over.
Second half begins with a throw. That was the intention, and Micah Parsons had other plans. 9 sacks this year for Micah Parsons.
And it's the day after.
It's about winning football games. At the end of the day, that's what this thing's about. It's just find a way to do it. Doesn't matter necessarily how it looks. I think when you have a defense that played the way that we did today, that kind of can dictate what you do offensively, and we did what we needed to do.
Let's react to the game and look ahead. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson.
Well, there's only one sports book you can call the best in the Midwest. It's where we are right now. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch every game this season on the beautiful 2,000-square-foot video wall. Potawatomi Sportsbook, open and ready for play. Open right now. Open tonight. Monday Night Football. Bucks basketball. Always action here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest at Potawatomi. Gary and Greg with you until 8 o'clock here tonight. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. We'll dive into the matchup with the Lions coming up in just a little bit. I want to double back on the day for Emmanuel Wilson real quick.
Sure.
I think it's a luxury to have a two-back backfield or somebody you feel comfortable with beyond your starting running back. Most good teams have that. Mm-hmm. And the Packers, I would argue, have 3 players they really trust.
Yes.
And you can argue about the drop-off and who does what a little bit better than the other. The proven commodity is Josh Jacobs. But Chris Brooks gives you everything you need in the pass blocking department, reliable out of the backfield, doesn't put the ball on the floor. Mm-hmm. Emmanuel Wilson does not put the ball on the floor. Got a little wiggle, steady, can make any sort of play, can run over to somebody, can wiggle around him a little bit. Just a little bit more unheralded, undrafted out of Fort Valley State. Mm-hmm. Brian Gutekunst's been able to find running backs. And the missing link here is Marshawn Lloyd. Here's what's kind of amazing to me, is that Lloyd was supposed to be this guy who could really change the pace. He could damage you in the backfield or out of the backfield as a receiver, not unlike Aaron Jones. He could line him up anywhere. And we saw just a hint of that in the preseason, and then he's injured. Oh, boy, now what do you do? Well, you got a backup plan already with Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks. As a former running back in the NFL, what did it tell you, I'd say about both those guys, but specifically Wilson yesterday, that he could absorb 30 touches in a division game late in November and carry the offense on his back to a win?
Because the way the new NFL is right now, a lot of guys are not getting 30 touches for 17 games. They're probably getting half that. And so the wear and tear is not as great. So now you can load a guy up if you need to for one game and then dial him back for the next game. And that's kind of what the Packers been able to do with Josh Jacobs, because they have Emmanuel Wilson. I don't know if you've seen this over the last couple of years, but that's kind of how they've been able to do it with both of those guys. If Josh Jacobs had a pretty heavy workload one game, they'll dial him back to the next, and Emmanuel Wilson will get more carries or more receptions or those types of things. So they've been able to do that. So which tells me that Josh Jacobs is playing Thursday, because you gave Emmanuel Wilson all the work, and there's no way, and he could, but you wouldn't like to put him at risk on Thursday after the workload you gave him on Sunday. So you need to try to balance that out. And I would say this, you're right. He's a kid from Fort Valley State, HBCU. That's in the state of Georgia. Their chief rival is Albany State College, which is in my hometown. My mom and my sisters, they all went to Albany State, graduated from that. And Fort Valley State normally plays them in a home and away as their biggest rivalry down south. Division II school that they play some really good football down there. I think it's a credit to Brian Gutekunst to go find him, because I believe he was like maybe in Denver first and got cut by Denver, and then Brian BG picked him up and brought him over. And I think that first year, did he break his collarbone or something like that the first year on the sideline play over there? Then he was out for a while, but they stuck with him because they saw something in him. And then you knew you were paying Aaron Jones, you were paying Josh Jacobs. Well, here's a guy that you can bring in and developed. And for him, I think it's a credit to Emmanuel that he has developed into a real threat at running back right now. Jacobs is going to be the guy, always going to be the guy, but he's positioned himself as if the Packers don't pick his contract up, he'll be able to go somewhere else and play somewhere else. He's that good.
28 carries, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. They leaned on him heavily. Right. And I think that it's an astute point. You can't get 30 touches on Sunday and then do that again on Thursday.
Right.
Like it's not going to work that way. So it does tell me that Jacobs will be back for Thursday's game. Wilson's role will be reduced.
Yeah, a little bit.
Significantly reduced. I might still see him on the field, but and then Chris Brooks is maybe a guy used a little bit more in the passing situation.
He's your third down back. Here's what I like about Emmanuel Wilson, because it was my kind of running style. I like a fullback.
Yeah.
So I think you saw in that game they used a tight end as a lead blocker for him on occasions. And not so much with Josh Jacobs. He's more out of the shotgun kind of a guy beside the quarterback kind of a deal, where Emmanuel Wilson feels more like that old traditional running back with the offset fullback, read the hole, picks where he wants to go. So there are two different style of runners that you have, which means that your offensive line has to get used to the style, or he has to get to use his offensive line how to do stuff. It's easier for me when I've got a fullback in front of me than when I don't have.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, I don't think he needs. I think it's easier for Josh Jacobs to go without the fullback.
Did you like it? Did you like a fullback in front of you or no?
Oh, absolutely. Fullback or tight end, loved it. It gave me more of a two-way go, because what ends up happening is that the defense flows with the fullback, and it made I was a cutback runner. It made my cutback lanes easier for me to see, because everybody flows to that fullback if he's going left, because I think that's where the play is going. I was able to get back to my right because everybody flows so hard once they see the line stepping left, the fullback's going left. I can take my first step left, but I can also find a lane coming back to. Emmanuel Wilson does a great job of that, and then taking on the contact 2-3 yards down and keep the power moving. He's a powerful man.
He's 5'11" and a couple of 100 pounds, right? I mean, he's got a little bit of punch in there.
Yes.
Took on a linebacker in the hole on that first touchdown and moved him back.
Well, I mean,
flattened the guy and plowed into the end zone.
And they tell you right away, Greg. I remember I was in one of my running back meetings, and we were with the offensive line, and they're drawing up the run game that we're going to have this week, and they're showing all the blocking schemes and all this, and who's got who, and how the guard and tackle is going to work, combination, center guard combination, get up to the linebacker, blah, 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 blah. And I raised my hand. Coach, yeah, we got, I see. I said, well, who's blocking that guy? He says, that's your guy. We can't block them all. So that's what you saw in that. Although it was a blitz, should have been probably picked up by somebody, but somebody didn't get him. The running back has to make somebody miss in the hole or run over somebody in the hole. Everybody can't be accounted for, and I think that's what you like in him, or at least that's what I like with Emmanuel Wilson, that he can do some stuff on his own if he has to.
Yeah, both of his touchdowns were tough running, hard-nosed situations, just plowing ahead. Didn't have a long line to gain, but he did the work, right? And Detroit knows what's coming, Vikings knew what was coming,
right?
And they still couldn't stop it, and Wilson was a large piece to that puzzle. Impressive day, very impressive day. Any way you size it up, Emmanuel Wilson had an impressive day. I get it. He averaged under 4 yards a carry. I'm not even looking at that number.
No.
He took the offense and put it on his back for over 30 touches in a division game in late November at Lambeau Field. That was an impressive day. He deserves a day off or spot in the cold tub, maybe a little bit, right?
I'm sure he was in there.
You're going to need that, no doubt about it. We'll see what he does on Thursday. I do believe Josh Jacobs will be back. Coming up on the other side, a little bit of buy or sell. Don't forget Lomas Brown joining us at 7:30, former Lions offensive lineman. He blocked for Gary Ellerson back in the day, and Barry Sanders, as a matter of fact. What did Gary do that Barry couldn't do as a running back? I bet there's something there.
Well,
there's something there.
Yeah, we had a bunch of guys. James Jones was there with me. Gary James. They used to call them the James Gang. And then we had a bunch of, back then, 5 running backs would play in a game. I don't think they do that much more anymore.
That is not as common.
No.
Not as common in today's NFL. All right, here we go. We're going to continue here. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. A little buy or sell after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Maybe one of Jordan Love's best games as a Green Bay Packer. I feel encouraged by what we saw.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Obviously, still a lot of things that need to get better, but from an offensive standpoint, from Jordan Love in particular, I thought had just an absolutely fantastic game.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kringle, all I want for Christmas is you.
Dad!
What?
We talked about this. Yeah, your jingle for your Kringle entry last year was so lame that Racine Danish Kringle banned you from their contest.
I thought it was only a one holiday season ban.
It was a lifetime ban.
Well, I guess I'm out, but here's how you can enter our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle jingle for your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch. Submit your own original jingle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringle. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. If you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new flavor, Peppermint Brownie Kringle.
Racine Danish Kringle, such a tasty, yummy treat. With a flaky crust and sweet icing, it's the best thing you can eat.
Oh, like that's so much better than mine.
Well, at least we're not off-key.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Is mud calling a timeout on your ride? A Tsunami Express Car Wash membership is your winning play. Get unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums every visit, all for less than $1 a day. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including the newest spot in New Berlin, keeping your car in prime time condition is a total touchdown. Whether you're tailgating, heading to the stadium, or just cruising around town, make sure you roll up looking like a champ. Become a member today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN. The market is open, and the hot takes are trading fast. From bold predictions to brutal realities, it's time to put the takes on the table. Are you buying or are you selling? It's time to buy or sell.
All right, Gary, you know how we play this, a little buy or
yes,
sell.
I do, Greg.
I tee up a scenario for you, and you tell me, are you buying what I'm saying, or are you selling back to the market what I am suggesting? Ready to play?
Let's go, buddy.
Might be a little more global NFL view instead of just Packers. Well, I think we're at that point in the season where you gotta take inventory of what everybody else is doing. Right? You need to know a little bit about the Seattle Seahawks. Right. You got to know that the Carolina Panthers are one game out of being in the wild card spot. You got to know that tonight's game against San Francisco, Carolina, they win that game, all of a sudden they're in playoff position with a tiebreaker over the Packers. So how do you want this to shake out tonight? You got to take inventory of the teams around you here in the NFL.
Let's do it.
Inventory, Gary.
Okay. Global.
All right. Are you buying or selling this? Here we go. Are you ready to play? Yes, you are ready to play.
We got music?
It's going right now, as a matter of fact. Will the Frill's got it going on.
All right, Will.
He used to be called part-time Will. Then he turned into full-time Will. You know what I call him?
What?
All-time Will. Packers are 7-3-1 this season. Are you buying or selling the Packers will win the division, the NFC North?
Why you got to start with that? Of all the ones, you got to put me on the spot right away.
I figure we come out hot.
You don't just ease.
No, I know you got to jump into this pool. You got to cannonball into this pool.
You got to ease me into the whole doggone thing. Hey, listen, that's why the NFL is such a conglomerate that it is, because it arranged all these games to be within the next 4 weeks to figure out who's going to be what. Right now, and as you and I talked about off air, but I think it's forever changing. Right now, the Rams are probably the best team in the NFC. And I think everybody else...
Maybe the NFL.
Yeah, could be. And then because the Eagles lost, they got some stuff in their locker room. You don't quite know what they're all about. And then you got to try to figure out if you're going to move to the north. Is the Chicago Bears for real? You got a big game coming up Thursday against Detroit Lions, which Jahmyr Gibbs just ran for over 200 yards, caught another 11 pass, and they look explosive. And the Packers got a lot of injuries. You quite don't know what they are. They've been winning, losing games that they shouldn't lose, win games they're supposed to win. I don't know, Greg. What's your question again? I might talk myself out of an answer.
Packers are 7-3-1. Are you buying or selling they will win the NFC North division?
Are they in first or second place right now?
Well, all right, so this is the interesting part. Now, they are a game back of the Bears in the win column, tied with the Bears in the loss column, tied with the Lions in the win column, one game better than the Lions in the loss column. So that tie is doing what ties typically do, confusing the standings.
I'm going to say yes.
You're buying?
I'm buying. Even if they lose against Detroit, I think they beat the Bears twice.
Okay.
And do we have another game left with the Vikings?
There's one more game end of the year against the Minnesota Vikings.
And I think we beat the Vikings.
Then you got the Broncos and Ravens.
So Thursday, to me, won't have any bearing of if they lose, if they won't win it. I still think they can lose against Detroit and then beat the Bears twice and beat the Vikings twice.
I am selling what I am suggesting here. I think the Lions are the best team in the division. I think the Lions will win the division. Packers' chances of winning the division go up to 68% if they win on Thursday and beat the Bears the following Sunday. I think the tie is too much to overcome to win the division. I just do. It's just a gut feeling of mine. I think that tie comes back to haunt them as it pertains to winning the division. But I do believe the Packers are a playoff team. I think they'll be a wild card team out of the NFC.
I know we're doing this. Who do the Lions have left on their schedule?
Their remaining schedule?
Yes. Let's just look at that real quick.
We can look at it, no doubt.
I may sway your thoughts on this.
Well, no, this is a piece to the puzzle. So the narrow escape over the Giants. They got Green Bay on Thursday.
Because he was looking for the Packers game.
They have got a December 4th matchup against Dallas at home. Then they visit the Rams.
They lose Dallas. They lose against the Rams.
Interesting you'd say they lose Dallas. That team has won a couple, and they're trying to stay relevant right now. They can put up points. There'd be a lot of points in that game. At the Rams on December 14th. Home against the Steelers.
They beat the Steelers.
At the Vikings, at the Bears to round out the regular season.
They beat the Vikings, they beat the Bears. So they lose 2 of those games right away, I think.
Okay. See, I think the Packers will lose to the Lions here on Thursday. I think they'll also lose to the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos are sitting out there, aren't they?
Well, the Broncos are 9-2.
That's in Denver, correct?
So Denver is doing what Kansas City did last year. Remember when Kansas City was winning? Random crazy things were happening, and it's like, who is this team for real?
It's like the Bears right now.
But the Broncos are just a headache to try and move the ball against, and they just come up with some stuff that works. And I'm not a big Sean Payton fan. I just don't like him. I don't like how he goes about his business. But he's got a team that believes in itself, and a quarterback who just does not give a rip who is on the field in front of him in Bo Nix. He'll get out there and sling it. The Bears' schedule definitely stiffens, but it's not markedly different than the Packers' schedule on the whole for the season. Okay? So the Bears, to their credit, have found ways to win. You can call it smoke and mirrors. You can call it whatever you want, but the fact of the matter is they're 8-3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a young team, young quarterback, young skill position players, young up-and-coming head coach, what's the first thing you talk about? We got to learn how to win.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could argue they are. They are learning how to win. Doesn't have to be pretty. It might be by a whisker of a kitten, but they're winning. Right? What does it lead to here in the stretch run of the season? So the Bears have the Eagles here on November 28th. They've got the Packers the following weekend, then the Browns. Who knows what the Browns are going to bring? Packers again, 49ers and Lions. Nothing easy about that. And the Niners will likely still be trying to chase down the Rams and right in the hunt of an NFC playoff spot.
Agree.
It's possible the Packers will need the Bears to beat the Niners to secure a playoff spot for them. While also perhaps even pulling them even with Green Bay in the standings, leading us to the final week of the season where it's Lions and Bears, Packers and Vikings, maybe for one of those wild card spots.
Oh, my.
It could happen.
It could. No, that's why they got it this way.
But to your point, this is what the NFL does.
That's why they got it this way.
They've backloaded this with a high concentration of division games. The Packers more so than most other teams here in the NFC. But you've got a logjam right now. The Vikings are out of it, not mathematically, but eye test-wise, they're out of it. I don't even know if they can play spoiler at this point, to be honest with you. But that's what we're looking at here.
All right, buddy.
So you're buying it. You're buying. You think the Packers can win the division?
I think they can win it, yes.
A couple just sort of a high-level, global-type NFL discussion points. So the Chiefs found a way to beat the Colts on Sunday. This is a game that it looked like the Colts were in control, off to a pretty good start this season, get ahead, use the running back, right? Well, the Chiefs were equal to that task in stopping the run, and they emerged with the win. The Chiefs are 6-5. They trail the Chargers by a game in the division. They trail the Broncos by 2 games in the division. Are you buying or selling that the Chiefs will win the AFC West?
No, they're not winning the AFC West. I'm selling that. But I think they sent some noise around the league after they beat Indianapolis. Because everybody's trying to figure out, are the Colts real or not? And Taylor's been rushing for a bunch of yards. Daniel Jones has been playing well, but when push comes to shove, they were not able to get it done. I don't think they win it, but I think most certainly you can't ever count the Chiefs out.
And final one here.
They're still alive, right?
Well, they are. As much as you'd like to see them just sort of falter, or I would personally, I'm just kind of sick of the Chiefs. The Colts had a chance to not bury them, but really make their life difficult. But no, they were not able to do that in Kansas City. Final one. The only division in the NFL where every team has a negative point differential is the NFC South. Buccaneers were riding high, off to a great start. Injuries have started to catch up with them, specifically on offense. Now Baker is hurt. Maybe not long term, but he's got a shoulder injury. They've lost 3 in a row. Carolina plays San Francisco tonight. If Carolina wins, they will be in first place in the NFC South Division. Falcons have fallen apart. Michael Penix is done.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints were never going to be much this year. They are 2-9. Are you buying or selling that the Carolina Panthers will win the division?
Well, I think it depends on Baker Mayfield. If he's out, then yes, I think Carolina can win. But it's going to go a long way tonight if they can get a win. I think that all depends on Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield is in it, they're not winning it. But if he's out, yeah, I would say Carolina would take it.
This is a game that when you saw it on the schedule this morning,
and it'll be a team that's below 500.
It could be.
Yeah.
You could be, even with that 17th game, which makes it a little more difficult, but possible. This is a game, this Carolina and Niners game tonight. You looked at it this morning and said, it was playing Monday Night Football. And you looked at it and said San Francisco and Carolina, and you thought, I'm not watching this. And then you dig in a little deeper and realize, no, this is a battle for first place.
It's a big game.
Essentially, right, for the Carolina Panthers, and a fight to stay relevant here in the NFC West with the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
It's a huge game in the
well,
NFC.
the 49ers, the NFC West, you look at the West right now, they're all, of course, it's the 49ers, Seattle, and the Rams. The Rams are kind of out there right now, but the West is almost like the North, where there are three teams battling out to try to see who's going to get in the playoffs right now.
Going to be a really interesting stretch run here, the month of December.
Do you have playoffs as they sit right now?
Like you just look at the playoff picture today.
Yeah, who will be
who is in and who is not.
The Packers are what, 6, 7 seed?
Yes, I've got this right now. So you want to look at it from the NFC side. Your division winners would be the Rams, Eagles, Bears, and Buccaneers.
Buccaneers at what, 6-5?
At 6-5,
Wow.
but you know that this is pre-Carolina playing.
Right.
Carolina is 6-5 also. So you know one of these teams has not had the bye yet, right?
Right.
Then you're looking at Seattle and Green Bay in as wild cards. San Francisco as well with a record of 7-4. The number 8 team right now would be the Detroit Lions. Outside looking in.
They got to win it.
Is what that means, right? At 7-4.
Wow.
Outside looking in. Now, again, you got 6 games to play. There's plenty of real estate left here in the playoff season. But in the AFC, by the way, it'd be the Patriots who have won 9 straight. Pretty remarkable run here. Broncos, Colts, and Ravens would be division winners. Chargers, Jaguars, Bills would get in. Steelers, Texans, Kansas City on the outside. So it's interesting. There might be some teams that have been there in the past that are not going to be there this year. Wouldn't it be amazing if Detroit and Kansas City just failed to qualify for the postseason?
Well, see, Kansas City not so much, but Detroit would be more of a stunner. Because Kansas City, you saw a decline coming. Detroit, did their window close that quickly?
I don't think so, based on the talent.
Right. I mean, only a couple years ago, they were in the NFC Championship game. And now you're here. It's just, you didn't see that happening.
It feels like that window is still open to me. So there's going to be a lot of changing in these standings. I get the feeling on a week-to-week basis. Lomas Brown, former Lions offensive lineman and Gary's teammate, joins us on the other side. We'll get a little preview of the Lions after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Right now, you can get 40% off your Iron Jock gear. Use code HOLIDAY40. That's HOLIDAY40 for 40% off your order. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Penalty flags? Not here. Carbless is the clean play that every football fan can agree on. With 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories, you get all the flavor without the penalty. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, hosting a crew at home, or watching solo in your lucky jersey, Carbless brings premium cocktails right into the huddle. Made to be refreshingly delicious and game day ready, Carbless keeps fans cheering from kickoff to the final whistle. So this season, skip the sugar, skip the carbs, and make the winning call. Find your bliss with Carbless.
At Heart of Canal Street, for over 30 years, our hearts have been set on making a difference for children in our community. Now through December 10th, we invite you to share your heart by playing the Canal Street Bingo game at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Every time you play this special bingo game, you're helping to raise funds for children's charities in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Goldsmiths are essential to running a jewelry store, but they're extremely hard to find.
Goldsmiths can repair jewelry, set diamonds, resize rings, and create beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces of custom jewelry.
Most jewelry stores do not have an in-house goldsmith.
But Kessler's has 18 wonderful goldsmiths working in our 9 Kessler stores.
The average Kessler's goldsmith has more than 15 years of full-time experience.
And that's not counting all the apprentice goldsmiths and jewelry designers.
Our goldsmiths repair a lot of jewelry that we did not sell.
Bring us your broken jewelry and we'll bring it back to life.
When you see a woman with an extremely attractive, very distinctive engagement ring,
you can safely assume that it's a custom-designed, one-of-a-kind ring made by the goldsmiths at Kessler's.
When your relationship is special, you need a special engagement ring.
If you want something that's breathtakingly one of a kind,
come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Every child deserves a chance. When you join the team at La Causa, you support giving children a chance to learn, to grow, to dream. La Causa Crisis Nursery and Respite Center is the only free 24/7 crisis nursery in Milwaukee. Their team doesn't just show up for work, they show up for the community as teachers, counselors, mentors, and advocates, united by compassion, education, and opportunity. Help change lives every day by embarking upon a rewarding career at La Causa. Apply today at lacausa.org.
We're back with Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN. When the story isn't in Green Bay, you gotta go straight to the source. Each week, we check in with the people on the inside. This is Not My Beat.
Our weekly peek behind the curtain of the Packers' next opponent, in this case, the Detroit Lions. And we go to Detroit and check in with Lomas Brown, one of the all-time great offensive linemen for the Detroit Lions and one of Gary's former teammates, now the color man for the Lions Radio Network. Hi, Lomas.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing great. So I raised this question earlier, and I thought you could answer the question best, Lomas. It may be nobody better than you. What could Gary Ellerson do as a running back that Barry Sanders couldn't do?
Well, now, Lomas, let me just preface this. Greg is the typical radio guy. Now, he's putting you on the spot. I said, man, Lomas, how he going to answer that? I mean, Barry Sanders is the greatest of all time, man.
Well, right, but there was something you did that Barry didn't.
We had a bunch of guys. We had James Jones. We had Gary James.
Yeah, I don't care about them.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of
dudes, G would hit that hole, though. He would hit that hole like, a big fella. We like them guys that pounded up in between the tackles. So I'll say G would do that. G would do that. He could pound it up between that tackle with the best of them. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, so Lomas said Barry wasn't very good.
No, you never say that. You know his bread is butter. He does too.
Well, I tell you this, Lomas, there's another pretty good one right now. Good couple backs in Detroit. In Jahmyr Gibbs, I know week one it was kind of a strange stat line for him in Green Bay. 10 receptions, but just 30 yards. Packers were able to string that passing game out and gang tackle. But my goodness, this guy seems to get better every time I watch him, coming off a 200-plus yard performance against the Giants. He's a special back, man.
Yeah, he really is. And I think the thing that's been impressing me to watch his growth over these last 3 years is, one, his vision. he's setting up blocks now. And to me, that takes vision. You know, that's knowing what you have to do to help your lineman out, your offensive lineman out. And he's doing a great job of that. He's a guy that can hit it up between the tackles. You know, when you think of that speed that he has, you think about getting on the edge and, you know, outrunning people that way. But I'm telling you, those 2 long runs that he had, the 69-yarder in overtime and then the 49-yarder earlier in the game, that was up the middle. And so he's learned how to run between the tackles. And I'm telling you, you get this dude in the open, man, nobody's catching him, man. The speed is just unreal from Jahmyr Gibbs. So it's been fun watching him develop from his first year to where he is now, and he seems to be getting better and better each and every, not game, seems like each and every quarter he's getting better and better.
Lomas, tell me about the switchover with Dan Campbell. And I don't know how it works, so you may know the answer. Is he now calling plays on offense and defense, or is it shared duties with the offense? What's the structure like right now for Dan Campbell and what he's trying to get done?
Yeah, so Coach says that he gets a lot of input, right, from John Morton on game day. He's calling the plays, but he says he gets a lot of input from John Morton. During the week, it's John Morton's voice that the guys hear more than anything else. You know, throughout the week of preparation, they're hearing more from Johnny Morton, the offensive coordinator. But game days, it's Dan Campbell that calls the offensive plays. And again, says he's getting a lot of input from those guys upstairs. Defensively, that's all Calvin Shepard. He's been doing just a wonderful job, especially with all the moving pieces. We've had so many injuries, especially in our secondary. We've been rolling guys in and out throughout this year, which Kirby Joseph's missing and Brian Branch has missed time. We just got DJ Reed back off of IR, so his first game was just his last game. So it's been a lot of moving pieces back in that secondary, and I think Calvin Shepard has done an awesome job of really just fitting in guys, continually to be a man-press team, but doing it within the system to where those guys, like I say, guys that have been used to the system, those guys are able to get in there, and he's putting them in position to have success. So it's been a remarkable job on his part, but Dan Campbell is the guy that's calling plays on Sunday.
Yeah, Lomas, I ask you this question based upon your intimate knowledge of the Lions, but also a player who has been in this situation before. How much does a game tape from the Week 1 matchup at Lambeau Field factor into preparation for Thursday's game at Ford Field?
Yeah, I think the thing that we have to do, it's imperative that we get our run game going, because you guys know, man, with Jared Goff back there, if we get that run game going, he's one of the best play-action quarterbacks in this league. And I think he's one of the best guys when everything around him is going good. He's accurate. He's like another offensive coordinator on the field because he could get you out of bad plays and get you into better plays. So it's a lot of things, but I'm telling you, if we aren't able to run the ball early in the game and establish the line of scrimmage with our offensive line, it just seems like it has our offense just a little uneven. So the run game is so huge for us, and that's what we're going to have to come out and try to establish against a very good Green Bay defensive front. We're going to have to be able to do that, and I think it takes pressure off of Jared, you know, and even versus the blitz. He's one of the good guys versus the blitz, but if he gets hit early and there's a lot of pressure around him, then apparently he's not as athletic to get out of some of the trouble that some of the other quarterbacks can, and it starts to affect them. So everything for us starts with the run, and that's what we're going to have to establish on Thursday.
It feels like, though, as of late, everything has shifted more to Gibbs than it has been Montgomery. I mean, I think it felt like since Dan Campbell has took over, he's doing a little bit more with Gibbs than he is with Montgomery. Is that a great summation there?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, because think about how versatile he is. I mean, the guy had 11 catches the last game, so you can use him in so many different ways. And I'm telling you, Gary, I'm waiting for them because he hadn't done much of this, but I'm waiting for them to split him out wide at the receiver position, because think about getting a linebacker to try to cover him out there by the sidelines. Heck, think about even trying to get a safety to cover him, because he could outrun most of the safeties in this league. So I just think you can line him up, and just by the alignment, where you put him at, you could create certain matchups that certain teams can't. They just don't have the personnel to keep up with. But make no mistake, man, to me, again, David Montgomery is just as important to that run game as Jahmyr Gibbs is. But you're right. I think Dan Campbell has made a concerted effort not only to use him more, but he's trying to get Jameson Williams more involved in the game plan too, because he's such a weapon and he can create certain mismatches that the defense I don't think can match up with. So those are two guys that I think he has to continuously try to get the ball in their hands. And the other thing that's hurting us right now is the loss of Sam Laporta. That's been so big, and that's why I think our offense has been so uneven these last couple of games.
No doubt a mismatch nightmare in Sam Laporta. Williams wasn't even targeted in that win over the Giants. How is that win being digested, Lomas? Late November win. It's on the home field. You got Green Bay in 4 days, division opponent. The Giants are kind of a mess right now. Interim head coach Jameis Winston on the field. As exciting as he is, I'm sure Lions fans weren't hoping the game would be as close as it was. How is that win being digested in Detroit?
Heck, I wasn't expecting the game to be that close. So you're right, man. You have a fashion of fans now that the question was on talk radio around here, are the Lions good enough to get to a Super Bowl? And now you got a lot of fans saying no about that because of what happened against the Giants game. And I'm telling you, the simple thing to me is that, and you all know this, if you give any quarterback or let any quarterback have the time that we let Jameis Winston have, they're going to kill you. I don't care if they're, a starting quarterback, a backup quarterback. If they get that time, and think about it, we only had one, maybe two sacks. I think it was one sack against them all game long, and that came on the 77th play, the last play of the game that we got that sack against him. So kudos to Jameis for having the game that he had, but a lot of that was because he had the time to scan the field, find his receivers, find whoever he wanted to do. And like I say, if you let Jordan Love come in here with that type of time, he's going to make us look bad too. So they're going to have to figure out a way. Maybe it's generating more pressure. Maybe it's bringing 5 or 6 guys. I don't know. We're going to have to do something to, like I say, make Jordan Love uncomfortable early in this game, because if he sits back and has the time that he had, that Jameis Winston had against us, it's going to be another long day.
Reading the Detroit Free Press, Lomas, and it says that Thursday is a must-win game for the Lions. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, we're looking at it that way. We have to be. Heck, I mean, think about it, man. Chicago making both our teams look bad right now with what they doing. I mean, I can't believe they're leading our division right now, but that's where we are right now. So we have to try to keep pace. Definitely we've lost to you guys once already this year. And if we lose another time, that just puts us farther back in the hole. We're already on the outside looking in. So, yes, they're looking at this as a must-win game, especially when you think about we play this Thursday, then we follow the game up next Thursday with a game against the Dallas Cowboys. So yes, this is looking at being a must-win team, a must-win game, and you want to use the Green Bay Packers as a measuring stick too to see where you are in this league. And I couldn't think of a greater task than to try to beat the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, the Packers stunned Detroit in Week 1. They stunned Detroit in Detroit a couple of years ago on Thanksgiving. It should be a great matchup at Ford Field. Overtime game into a Thursday afternoon game, Lomas. I'm guessing that's not ideal, even if Detroit didn't have to travel. This is always a tough situation. I get it, Green Bay played as well, but a little extra football for the Lions going into that short week.
Yeah, and as Gary knows, this is going to be a mental week. That's all you could be able to do. You can't do anything physically. Like you say, just coming off this game last night, the only thing you could do is get more mental reps than anything else this week. Again, a lot of corrections have to be made on our side. We have to correct some of our penalties that have been putting us in third and long situations. And like I say, man, we have to clean up some of these drops that we've had too. Amon-Ra's had a number of drops this year. Jameson has had a number of drops. So those little things like that have to be cleaned up. And we got to find a way to generate pressure on the opposing quarterback.
Always great stuff from one of the greats to ever play football in the NFL, former Detroit Lions offensive lineman Lomas Brown. You heard him say it earlier, and we'll put this up on social media. Gary was great, and Barry was he was lacking a little bit in the backfield there for the Lions. Yeah, totally understand.
Yeah, okay, fine. Lomas, all right, buddy, thank you.
Appreciate it, Lomas. Thank you.
Hey, man, no problem, fellas. Take care.
You do the same thing. I heard what he said. He said Barry was no good.
Yeah,
Barry was no good.
Fine.
You know. Yeah. Retired too early.
Yeah, fine.
That definitely did that, too.
They all do.
Coming up on the other side, how did it sound yesterday in Green Bay? The Packers' dominant win over the Minnesota Vikings. We've got a highlight recap for you to carry you out here on a Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Harley-Davidson is an iconic Milwaukee brand, recognized worldwide for its innovation and strength. For many years, Harley-Davidson has partnered with Junior Achievement to prepare the future workforce of our community. Together, we're ensuring young people discover the career path that's right for them. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Kringle, all I want for Christmas is you.
Dad!
What?
We talked about this. Yeah, your jingle for your Kringle entry last year was so lame that Racine Danish Kringle banned you from their contest.
I thought it was only a one holiday season ban.
It was a lifetime ban.
Well, I guess I'm out, but here's how you can enter our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle Jingle for Your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch. Submit your own original jingle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringle. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. If you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new flavor, Peppermint Brownie Kringle.
Racine Danish Kringle, such a tasty, yummy treat. With a flaky crust and sweet icing, it's the best thing you can eat.
Oh, like that's so much better than mine.
Well, at least we're not off-key.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 44 was the first number retired in December of 1961. Don Kogis didn't have to wait long since his last game was earlier that year. Still Marquette's all-time leading rebounder, and it'll stay that way till the end of time. And he did it in only 3 seasons. A side note, Kogis was such a great leaper that Dr. J picked him as the second best dunker when they played in a pro exhibition. Yes, Dr. J picked himself first. Network Health knows that good health knows no age limit. That's why they offer superior local health plans for individuals of all generations. Whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or enjoying your golden years, plan is designed to meet your unique healthcare needs. For more about Network Health's business, individual, or Medicare Advantage plans, call Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to senior NBA writer at The Ringer, Howard Beck. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again!
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount liquor.
You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
And just like that, we are out of time here on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Gary, some final thoughts going into Thursday's matchup against the Lions.
Well, I mean, I think it's a big game for both teams. I know we just talked to Lomas. He says it's a must-win game for them. I feel like it's a must-win game for the Green Bay Packers if they're looking to, win the division and have a home game. Because right now I think it's so even, I'm not sure if teams can rattle off 3 games on the road like they used to. So I think most certainly this game will go a long way of setting up the North and where everybody falls in place. I feel like the Vikings, they're done. They're out of it. It's a 3-team race, right? Lions, Packers, and whoever thought we'd be saying the Bears.
They are certainly in it. Noon the kick from Ford Field on Thursday. We leave you with the sights and sounds from the Packers' win over the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
You talk about a total... Has a sack of his own. Make the toss.